Champlin Park looking to make it 5 in a row over the Spring Lake Park Panthers as they open the home portion of their 2022-2023 schedule at the Champlin Ice Forum here tonight in a Section 5 AA Northwest Suburban Conference battle. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bill Hupp, alongside my broadcaster Dan Ficken. And Dan, it should be a fun matchup tonight between the Rebels and the Panthers. Rebels coming in pretty hot, 2-1 on the season, playing well, and they're a talented group that returns 2 of their leading scorers from last year.
They really have. They're going to step up this year, I think, in more ways than one. They haven't for a long, long time, but they're putting pucks in the net, and they're getting some decent stops, and they've had a good start to the season so far. This will be a test for them, though. They're away from home. They're in the park, the Champlin Park Forum, so this will be a good test for them.
Yeah, indeed. Spring Lake Park opened their schedule last night with a 2-2 draw against Irondale, but certainly they lost some scoring last year, but they've got a lot of talented sophomores in this SLP program. They're looking to have their first winning season since 2015-2016, and certainly doing it led by some talented seniors, including John Ross and Connor Larson, the 2 co-captains.
Yeah, and Connor Larson so far last year, 7 goals, 16 assists, 4 goals on the power play. Big key, if you can get that power play going, it can jumpstart your 5-on-5 play too, and they've been able to do that. So we'll see how they're going in the goaltending. It's got to be a little better, but I think it's improved this year.
Meanwhile, Evan Williams leads the line for Champlin Park, the second-line right winger behind Jordan Ron. Williams, the leading goal scorer last year for this Champlin Park squad, 4 goals already this season, and he hopes to contribute offensively. Had a first-period hat trick against the Panthers when these 2 teams met last season. Should be a fun one coming up in a bit from the Champlin Ice Forum. It's NWSC hockey coming up next on CCX.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You'll also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV.
Back here at the Champlin Ice Forum in Champlin, Minnesota, Bill Hupp alongside Dan Ficken, getting ready for NWSC boys hockey action as Champlin Park hosts Spring Lake Park. Panthers, Rebels tonight will be in the traditional white uniforms with navy blue breezers, lettering and numerals. Panthers in the road red with the Red Sox blue breezers, white lettering and white numerals, as the last meeting between these 2 teams dominated by Champlin Park 9-2. Evan Williams had a first period hat trick as the Rebels got out to a 6-0 lead, and New, the normal goaltender, Cohen New, their number 1 keeper, stopped 23 of 25 shots he faced and even had an assist in that game. So Caden Lichter, the freshman forward, hoping to change things. How about that, a freshman starting tonight for Spring Lake Park. Caden Lichter to do the honors against Jordan Ron, the star of this Champlin Park team, and Ron wins the opening face-off for the Rebels, and they go to work. D-to-D passing for Spring Lake Park. They go up the wall. It's just out of the reach of John Ross. And now Ron will backhand it across. Back to Ron in the middle. He fires off a wrister. It's saved by the goaltender, Brock Lewick, brother of Blake, who was a star for the Panthers the last couple of years. Still with the Rebels. They walk in. There's a shot that's deflected to the near side boards. Handled at the left point by Long. And Evan Long gets it in deep. Already 2 shots in this opening period for Champlin Park. Long throws it on net, off the end boards. It's picked up centered, but then cut out by Spring Lake Park and the captain, John Ross. Flipped out to center where it's taken back by Champlin Park. He stood up in the neutral zone, and now Ross skating back with it. Ross trying to walk his way through, gets to the front of the net and loses it off the end boards. A minute gone by, but what a thrilling minute it's been here in the opening period. Aberwild gets into the zone. He fires a shot that goes around the far boards and up, held in at the right point. Battling for it there, Trevor Aberwald. And now the puck slides back into the Champlin Park end. Haven't even had a minute for you to talk, Dan. It's been so back and forth.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you say something?
Welcome to the broadcast.
I just been watching the game. I mean, good shot, good opening by both teams. Oh, my gosh.
And, of course, what happens? A backhanded goal for Drew Bellison. And a minute 32 into this game, Bellison goes over to the student section and does the fishing celly as Champlin Park gets out to a 1-0 advantage.
Boy, you can kind of see that one coming, too. That goaltender at Spring Lake Park looked pretty shaky on that first shot. Gave up a huge rebound. I was going to comment on that. But they come right back, and he came around. Nice move for a defenseman, although defensemen are just as agile as forwards, and I will attest to that myself from personal experience. But a big jumping off here for the Champlin Park Rebels.
Williams gets the assist, so it's Bellison from Williams. His first of the season, Williams' second assist, and now Champlin Park has it again, but it's picked up by number 18, Drew Lindquist, and he gets it in the zone. Like that, Dan, you were saying, they got out to a flying start. 3 shots on goal already in the period for Champlin Park, and they've got a 1-0 lead here in the early going.
I think they want this to be a non-tense game, to be honest with you. The Rebels do.
Williams tries to feed a cutting Matthew Lang, and now he'll go off for a change. It's back at center ice with Champlin Park, shared near side for Austin Anderson, who gains the zone. He tries to feed a cutting Lang, and it's cut out by the Spring Lake Park defense. Solomon retreats back and gets in, and he'll go D-to-D with the pass.
The Rebels came in right away, got around the defense, and that last rush, they tried to split them. It'll be interesting to see how the Spring Lake Park defense holds up here, because they are getting pushed on.
Champlin Park battling for it on the far boards. Rebels. Oh, a terrible turnover. Fortunately for them, Lang was there to recover and take it off the stick of Joseph Shipman. And that one's deflected up and out of play. We have our first face-off, which will take place in front of the Champlin Park bench. As we take a look at the goal, and a real scrappy goal, a greasy goal, but a nice one nonetheless.
A great move right here, though. Watch this move. Kind of moves in. He kind of suckered the goalie to think he was going to go wide and pass it in. He made a quick move inside, got it on his backhand, and buried it.
No mistake, and really no challenge to him as he was driving the net. He just kind of walked his way in and scored. And Champlin Park's out to a 1-0 lead. 13:46 to go, first period here on CCX. Bill Hupp alongside Dan Ficken. Pass swept out of the reach of Spring Lake Park and all the way down. Champlin Park chasing after it, fanning on the pass. Rebels force the turnover. Comes to the near side boards. Carlson flips a pass cross ice looking for Jax Warren. One of his teammates loses an edge. Cleared but not out. Drop back for Warren, right point. Fanning on the shot. Maybe a little bit of nerves in the early going here.
Well, the Rebels have already played 3 games. I think that's to their benefit, obviously, and they were in a Thanksgiving tournament. We won 1-1. This Spring Lake Park just got off a tie game against Irondale.
Yep, last night. Both these teams played last night, in fact. Long cross-ice pass. There's a one-timer and a good save by Lewick. Ross goes off the near side boards to himself, but it's intercepted by Evan Williams. Aberwald now at center ice. Drops it for Ron. Leading goal scorer from last year for the Rebels, circles the zone. It comes around the near side boards to the right wing corner. Coming down to play it there, Matthew Blodgett. Pass across, tipped but recovered nicely. Long gets it to Ron, who's forced off the puck by number 27, Connor Larson, the other co-captain for the Spring Lake Park team. Centering passes chipped away by the goaltender, Lewick. Back at the right point, flipped in deep.
Lewick at this point in the goal has got to get a stop, and he's got to hold on to it. This line has been out there for a long time.
Yes, very long shift. Rebels really buzzing right now. Ross can't clear the zone. Nice job coming down from the point by Long. Now skating with it, Will Bervanek. Back out in a high slot through traffic, and it goes to the end boards. Comes to the near side corner. Cycled down low, gloved down at the line and held in by Long. Redirected in front, and this time Lewick covers the puck and takes the whistle.
A little bit of a lighter shot. He controlled it well and just kept it in front of him and dropped.
See Brock Lewick's numbers, just one game played, made 18 saves last night, allowed 2 goals. Did not play last season. Meanwhile, on the other side, Evan Whipple, the backup netminder, getting a chance. He's played in a game this year, gave up 4 goals in a loss to Woodbury, and 800 save percentage. Cohen New is the normal netminder, but they're going with Whipple tonight. Rings around and comes out to the left point. Flipped back in deep by the Panthers. Beautiful centering pass. Beautiful centering pass by Lindquist, but nobody was home.
Boy, the Panthers really needed that little pressure on their side. But, you know, when you got 2 inexperienced goaltenders like the Rebels do, you want to give them as much experience early as you possibly can and hope one at midseason decides to start taking charge of the position.
Yep, that's what they're doing. Of course, Lewick's dad is one of the 2 co-coaches for this team, Chris Lewick. And Connor Gagnon is the other co-head coach for this Spring Lake Park team, who, like we said in the pregame, has not had a winning record since 2015 and 2016.
They haven't beaten Champlin Park since 2018.
Yeah, it's been 4 straight years. Now an odd man rush and a glove save made by Whipple as we took a look at the replay previous, but Whipple makes a glove save, his first. And he takes the whistle to force the draw down in the Champlin Park end. 10:48 to go, first period, as we see the odd man rush. And not a bad shot by Joseph Shipman, sophomore winger, but not much on it. Now a potential 2-on-1 for Champlin Park. Lang feeds it across. Beautiful save by Lewick. A sprawling save as Lewick dove to make the stop. He read the play well, and he made the stop to keep this a 1-goal game.
Well, the sophomore got some confidence there. He looked like he knew exactly what he was doing and attacked it with confidence. And that's what he needs to do, no matter what. Don't sit back. Be aggressive. Force the angle. Force the guy to take the shot.
Off the draw, Spring Lake Park rings it around the near sideboards. Nice job coming down to play it by Lang. Board battle. Lang shovels it back to the point. And now his pass is stolen and taken back by Shipman. Chip and chase for Shipman. One of the 3 co-captains, Drew Bellison, gets there first, the goal scorer. It was co-captain to co-captain as Williams fed Bellison a minute 32 into this opening period for the game's only goal. Fed out in front. There's a shot. Lewick makes the save, spills the rebound, but the puck gets deflected to the near side corner. It goes up the boards. Held in by Warren momentarily, but they're saying a hand pass. So the faceoff will come back out of the zone.
And get a good look here as the got it out front and just pops right out on the 23 stick, and he just rips it.
But that was Jax Warren, the sophomore defender, big guy coming down, and Lewick made the initial stop to deny the wraparound, but a great job behind the net to feed it out in front and give his teammate a chance at a play.
Yep.
Again on the faceoff, Jordan Ron battling back there. Shot 6-1 in the early going in favor of Champlin Park. Aberdeen skates down it on the left half wall and then has it taken away. Big check delivered by Ron. And now an opportunity here forces Whipple to make a save. It was a sharp angle shot, but Whipple made the stop. Backhanded in deep. The stick goes flying as Evan Long lost his lumber. Back at the line, it's tipped into the zone, and Spring Lake Park will try to change on the fly. Long outlet pass all the way up to the blue line for Aberwald. He rings it around now. He'll go off for a change, and the Rebels will try to get on the forecheck. Puck tied up along the right half wall.
Well, we'll see how long the Rebels keep holding that blue line. They're kind of sticking there and trying to, keep that puck inside the zone.
They had 53 shots. They outshot Forest Lake last night, 53-15, and winning 5-2. And talking to head coach Tom Potter before the game, that's something that they want to continue doing. Just putting pucks on the net, shooting a lot, being aggressive, and being consistent. Oh, great breakaway opportunity here, and what defense from behind by Bellison to knock it away from Drew Lindquist. Excellent play there by Bellison, who's doing it offensively and defensively here in the first period.
Boy, never give up. Nice play by the D there. Oh, boy.
Could have been a hooking, and it's not. It's icing instead. Ian St. Martin trying to corral a on-rushing Evan Williams. Whistle stops the clock with 8:02 to go first period. And a 1-0 Rebels lead.
Well, I like the fact that both these teams, Bill, are using stretch passes. They're really trying to open it up, get that point off the blue line, and give them some good breakout opportunities.
Jay Balacimo, and Champlin Park wins it and rings it around the boards. They get into the zone with speed. They go, the attacker Williams goes down, fed out in front. Somehow it deflects back to the netminder Lewick, and he tries to paddle it away. Held in momentarily by Solomon. Champlin Park now goal line extended, centering pass in front, and again it's deflected away. There's a quick shot thrown on net by Jax Warren, turned aside by Lewick. He's just having to look alive every opportunity, Dan.
They're shelling him, Bill.
Yeah, they really are.
To be honest, they're shelling him.
They're listening to what their coach told them as the puck is iced, so faceoff will come back down in the end of Brock Lewick, but the sophomore netminder is seeing a lot of rubber in the early going here.
Well, there's an old Russian adage, if you don't put puck on net, it doesn't go in. It's funny to do this.
It's funny how that works.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ron moves in to take the draw for the Rebels as they fix the net down in the Spring Lake Park end. In case you just joined us, Rebels scored 1:32 into this opening period. It was Bellison from Williams to get the scoring going, and Champlin Park's been on the front foot ever since. They win the draw and cycle the puck down low. Fed out in front. That shot goes whistling wide. Warren trying to pick out the right post. Held in and then redirected on net. It's deflected to the left half wall. Aberwald sweeps it back in deep. Board battle left wing corner. Anders Holen leaning on the attacker there. Warren through traffic. It's Duluth, and Ron sweeps it home for his 4th goal of the season.
Well, that's how leading scorers become leading scorers, being at the right place at the right time and knowing exactly what to do when they get it.
100% Jordan Ron, 18 goals last year, already 4 this year, and just a nose for the goal, a nose for the puck. And he was right there to collect the rebound, and a great job by Warren to just put it on net and force the Spring Lake Park goaltender to deal with it. As you see it here, they just keep the pressure on. And Warren again throws it on net, and Ron made quick work of it.
That's why, kids, when you're shooting the puck, hit the net. You never know what can happen. If you don't hit the net, it probably isn't going to go in.
So it's Ron from Warren at 6:42 after the first goal had been scored at 15:28. 2-0 our score as the Rebels have a 2-goal advantage over Spring Lake Park. They led 6-0 over SLP last year. There's been some high goal totals in these games. Battle in front of the goal for Whipple. Somehow they come out of it. Spring Lake Park still on it.
This is a nice answer for the Panthers. I like this. They're putting some pressure on. They're not backing off. Good for them.
Being outshot 10-2 thus far. A great job of skating it out by Evan Williams, who weaves from right to left. Actually, that's Bellison. That 8 and 9 is going to get me all night, Dan. It looks so similar. Bellison trying to feed Williams, and instead it finds its way to the stick of Matt Blodgett. Just out of the reach of Williams, who will go off for a change. It comes around to the near side boards. Blodgett trying to dig it out along with Lang. Jacob Rombach, the sophomore defender. He's a big guy out there. There's a sharp angle shot. Lewick stops it. Again, spilling those rebounds. Still in the possession of the Rebels.
Lewick's a sophomore. He's got some experience to figure out here.
That one pinged off the outside of the post, the right post. Champlin Park continuing to put pucks on net as Lang can't keep it in the zone. But he goes beautifully back to his defender. A lot of tape-to-tape passing in this first period for the Rebels. We're inside of 5 minutes to go in the opening period. 2-0 lead for Champlin Park. There's another shot on net, and this time Lewick gobbles it up and melts it down.
Yeah, that's the difference between playing one game and playing 3 games. You know, you learn to move the puck, you get it on the tape, everybody's starting to get comfortable where they're going to be during 8 games. You can't simulate that in practice, really, realistically.
Solomon and Balsimo to do the honors. Glove down at the line and held in. Champlin Park doing a nice job of holding the zone tonight. Just as I say that, they've got to touch up. Lewick out of his net to play it. Glove down. A nice job by Lang to get it free. Plays it along for Drew Payanen. It's behind for Solomon. Solomon circling the zone. Near side Anderson. Above the left circle, and his rising shot's deflected out of the zone. Back in the possession of the Rebels, and back to Anderson near side. He'll flip it down the boards. Solomon gives chase, but ultimately Ian Roll gets there first. Roll 8 assists last year from his defenseman's position. Big crunch delivered. Oh boy, Anderson laid the lumber to Joseph Shipman.
That one echoed throughout the suburbs.
It sure did.
Man.
Little chip and chase for Ron to collect. Warded off momentarily by Caden Lichter. They go off the window and out of the zone. Near side, Champlin Park bound the right wing. That one off the skate of a Panther. Right at center ice. Warren throws it on net. Lewick pretty aggressive coming out of his goal. To play that, the bounding puck goes in. No, they're waving it off. Well, both of those things are true. It did go in, but they did wave it off.
High stick.
A high stick, the call. So Spring Lake Park, for now, the deficit remains 2 goals with 2:55 left to go. And the draw will actually come back down in the Champlin Park end. No goal, though. As see if we can get a replay here.
Yeah.
Take a look at what happened.
Nice setup here. Just got it down inside the zone. He deflects it off.
And ultimately.
And it's moving in slow motion.
Fed in front.
But you got a good look at that cross. You know, it was almost a cross check the way he lifted the stick with both hands. Went off right in between his hands, and you could see it was above his shoulder. So.
Yeah. But not a penalty.
Nope.
And no penalties thus far in the first period. Intercepted at center ice by Warren. Aberwald had to avoid it. Ron gives chase, tracking down Ian St. Martin. Martin up the wall, out backhanded in deep. Ron with an opportunity, feeds it across, and the shot blocked by Ross. Ross got in the way of the effort of Warren. And now the puck iced down into the Champlin Park end.
Well, the Rebels, they got a nice job. They set up the triangle very well. They try to set up the shot from right down the guts in the slot. They're not settling for just a side shot from the winger. But if they do, they need to hit the net because they have that person high in the slot who can go get a rebound and put another goal in the net.
Yeah, they're able to get it into dangerous positions and good areas of scoring. Long can't get there first. Williams recovers. It's eventually swept into the zone by Teddy Wackman, whose brother played for this Spring Lake Park team last year. Teddy Wackman, not a name you easily forget. Rebels recover. They're out shooting the Panthers 12-2, and now they've got a 2-on-2 the other way. Williams cycles looking for Brnovic. Behind the net, in front, and Williams couldn't hit the net. He chases it to the near side corner and cycles the puck. Goes to the front of the net underneath the stick of Brnovic, though we've got a stoppage. I think the net has become dislodged.
Got number 4 there for Champlin Park. Will Brnovic was right there. He just couldn't quite get his stick down fast enough because it just came out of there fast.
1:26 to go, first period. The Champlin Ice Forum, Bill Hupp and Dan Ficken here on CCX. Spring Lake Park in the red, Champlin Park in the navy blue and white. 2-0 the score, 1:24 to go. As they're doing a little maintenance work on the net. That net's seen a lot of activity in this first period, Dan.
Kind of surprised maybe that it's coming off the post. We have to keep an eye on that.
Well, there was the one shot that hit the post, plus the 12 others that have been on goal and the countless others that have not been on goal. It's John Ross, 7 goals and 27 assists last year for the senior right winger and one of the 2 co-captains for this Spring Lake Park team. Off the draw, Williams back to Long at the point. Back to Williams. And now it's picked up and taken back by Caden Lichter. This pass intercepted nicely by Brent Solomon. They regain the zone with Lang. Little give and go. That pass blocked down, though, by Ian Roll. Champlin Park still on it. Long at the left point. 1 minute remaining first period. Ross comes out with it. Tries to get by Long and does. Ross drives the net. Sharp angle shot, and that time it was saved comfortably by Whipple, who gloved it and held on.
Well, we got 7 sophomores with the Panthers right now. They're getting some valuable experience here.
And that freshman, right?
That's true.
And that freshman in Caden Lichter, who's been out there for some meaningful minutes. So, yeah, young team, but talented. And again, a program that has not been over 500 since they were 16-9 in 2015-2016. And that year they lost to Maple Grove in the quarterfinals. That just shows you Maple Grove at that time was a 4 seed or a 5 seed.
Yep.
Spring Lake Park was a 4 seed, and it's a tough opening draw. Shows you the depth of Section 5 in Class 2A. Spilled the rebound. Lewick clamps on it. And now he goes over to give a little shove to Aberwald, who is bumped into him.
It almost looked like Aberwald made the save.
Yeah. As we see the rush here for Champlin Park. Luke's got to control those rebounds, though, or it's going to come back to haunt him.
Yes.
Through traffic, like right there, where he gloved it and held on. Stops the clock with 31 seconds to go. Champlin Park, a goal, 1:32 in, and another one with 6:24 remaining. And that both even strength, and that's how they lead it 2-0. Off the draw, quick shot that's fired wide. Comes up the near side boards. Bellison, the goal scorer. Centered to the slot, but a stick in the passing lane by Rombach. Warren gets there first, 16 seconds remaining. Centering pass cut out. And Ross will carry it out of the zone. John Ross trying to walk his way through. He's sandwiched between defenders and rubbed off the puck. 3 seconds remain. Champlin Park will skate it out here to end the first period. A first period dominated by the Rebels. They outshoot the Panthers 14-3. We head to our first intermission with a 2-0 lead for Champlin Park. We'll be back with highlights, analysis, and more from the Champlin Ice Forum. 2-0 our score after 1 period of play here on CCX.
I'm a first-generation Filipino American. You don't always feel you're a part of the country you live in. It's this weird middle space sometimes that you have to live inside of. But when you meet others that are also living in that space, you'll learn to know that that is its own unique space too.
Back here in our first intermission at the Champlin Ice Forum, Bill Hupp alongside Dan Ficken, and Champlin Park got their first goal a minute 28 into the first period as we take a look at our first period highlights with the Rebels leading 2-0 after one period of play. And in that first period, it started early as Williams found Bellison for a goal a minute 32 into the opening period. And then Champlin Park later with just opportunity after opportunity. Dan, they really peppered the net. A potential breakaway here, but fantastic defense by Bellison. And really, they're just controlling the pace of play on both ends.
You can really tell the difference between number one, the sophomore goaltender for Spring Lake Park, although the Rebel goalie doesn't have much experience, but they've had more games. They've been in tougher situations, so that makes a lot of difference early on in the season here. And he almost got one there.
Yep, sprawling save, a couple nice stops by Evan Whipple, and then Champlin Park could have made it more. They had a high sticking, a loose rebound there after you saw Jordan Rahn get his fourth goal of the season. So as we take a look at our first period stats, and you see it was all in favor of Champlin Park. No penalties, so it was pretty fast-flowing first period of play. Only a couple icings, but a lot of traffic down toward the Spring Lake Park end as Champlin Park, they forced the Panthers into some really long extended shifts.
They really did. They got trapped in the zone, and your goalie has got to be aware of that. He's got to get a stop and hold it to allow a line change if they're stuck in there. And he'll learn that. I mean, that's part of the problem being a sophomore goalie.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And Brock Lewick certainly hopes to give up fewer rebounds maybe in that second period. But Champlin Park doing what they did last night, 53 shots on Forest Lake, and more of the same here in the first period at home tonight against Spring Lake Park. More to come during the intermission report. Second period action straight ahead from the Champlin Ice Forum on CCX.
I am so glad you ladies are here. You each have your own rooms.
Thank you.
Is it okay to call you Mom?
Of course you can.
Jordan Rahn, one of the goal scorers in the first period for Champlin Park as they take a 2-0 advantage into the second period of play here at the Champlin Ice Forum. Bill Hupp alongside Dan Ficken here on CCX. Panthers outshot in that opening period by the Rebels 14-3 as Evan Williams and Drew Bellison were among the stars. Really three co-captains on this, tri-captains? I don't know what you'd call that. Co-captains, tri-captains, but three captains on this Champlin Park team. And no surprise they were heavily involved in the action as Williams is a right wing on that line, and Drew Bellison starting defender. As you see the scoring recap here, Bellison struck early, and then Jordan Rahn at 10-18, his fourth of the season. Rahn already with 8 points, so he's off to a flying start in just his fourth game of the year.
I like to see the Panthers start doing some stretch passes, Bill, just to kind of get that D backed off. They're standing on that blue line and holding it in at the point. Panthers need to get that busted up so they get some more rushes. Oh, and by the way, you need 3 players to rush the puck, not one. And that's been the problem with the Panthers.
It's been all John Ross. Speaking of Ross, he touches the puck there, and then it's swept deep into the zone. Comes around for long, up the far side boards, and carried out through the neutral zone ice into the zone, and do not have our first. Well, I thought we were going to have our first penalty, and we are indeed. It's the trailing ref calls the trip. So Spring Lake Park immediately goes on the penalty kill, and Champlin Park has a chance to add to its lead. The freshman, Caden Lichter, going to the box with the first penalty of the game tonight on either team.
Boy, you can tell when it's a freshman out there. The strength is not quite there. They're not quite mature young men yet. You see the play here as he's coming through. That stick just gets a little out of hand, and you can see it get tied up right in there.
That one coming 25 seconds into the second period, and now a real chance for the Rebels to do something. Bellison shares it near side above the right rim of the right circle. Now Bellison skates middle. Centering pass tipped away by one of the co-captains, number 19, Mason White. Carlson shares it near side for Williams. Williams into the zone. Back for Carlson. He collects it along the right half wall and back. Gets the return pass. Tries a little give and go to Williams. Williams along the end board. Shares it. Sharp angle shot deflected. And now Ron's on it in the left wing corner. He goes off the boards back out to Williams. Or rather Bellison. Shares it back with Ron. Hands back for Bellison, who flips it on net off the end boards. 1 minute to go in the tripping Niner. Back out for Ron. Bellison. Center point. That one driven down. Shot blocked there by Rombach. Still in the possession of the Rebels. Above the left circle, that shot whistles wide. Bellison, just shooting practice right now for Champlin Park. Through traffic, collision with the goalie, but play on, says the refs. Circle to circle now for Bellison in the middle. Big save by Lewick. And that one caught Lewick. He's down again. He makes another stop, and this time he takes the whistle. And Dan, I think he may be injured.
I think he's hurt.
As he got absolutely hit with a rocket from that center point shot, and the whistle stops play as we take a look here on our replay. That one caught him square, I think, and credit to him for getting up and making another save after he'd been dinged up. He's going to stay in there. Still 26 seconds left on the power play. Just 2 minutes into this second period.
Well, there's a lot of padding there, but there's also creases, and it's amazing how that puck will find that crease every once in a while and get into your real body.
Warren's shot was nearly redirected in. Anderson gives for Warren. He walks the line, fires it on net, and the rebound is slammed home. Champlin Park scores on the power play. I believe it's Matthew Lang who will get his second of the season. As the power play, something that their head coach Tom Potter talked about in the pregame show, and they're 1 for 1 tonight. As Matthew Lance, I should say, with the goal, as that was thrown on net, and Lance was just right there to backhand it in. Very muted celebration as they score 2 minutes and 10 seconds into the second period.
Well, Mr. Lang looks pretty happy there. He's got a big smile on his face, little slap on the back of the head. But it was interesting to me. I would notice that they kept the right wing and left wing same side sticks. Most teams will reverse where we're sticks on the inside.
It's a power play goal, and now Champlin Park has it again. Williams with a chance in front. He was all alone. They're back to even strength, but you wouldn't know it. Great toe drag and a shot that Lewick saves. Boy, he's already faced 21 shots. We're barely into the second period. 3-0 our score. 2 even strength and a power play goal for Champlin Park. Long shifts here, and then cross ice pass by Teddy Wackman finds its way to a teammate's stick, and a great recovery by Champlin Park.
And where are the rest of the Panthers?
Yeah, very little in the way of support. Wackman goes back up the wall, but it's intercepted by Williams. 2-on-2 as they gain the zone. Driving the net, Williams, his follow-up shot can't go in. Matthew Blodgett's initial effort had been saved. Rombach shares it near side for Wackman. He gains the line for a moment, but Ron takes it away. Goes cross ice for Williams. Now it's stolen back by Joseph Shipman. Shipman's done some good things. We've called his name a couple times tonight, the young sophomore. Ron, near side for Trevor Aberwald. Dropped for Ron on the backhand. He goes, and it's just out of the reach, and now it's a foot race. Bellison will get there first, and he'll glide back behind his own net. Up for Carlson at the blue line. Cross ice pass, banked into the zone, and icing is the call. Shots 22-3 in favor of Champlin Park, and if you thought they were going to take their foot off the gas, think again. They've got 8 shots in this period already to none for SLP.
I think they want to make it an easy night. So far they have. They've done a good job. Spring Lake Park's defense got to tighten up. They're just letting these Rebels run rough shot right through the slot, and there's always 2 guys in there at all times.
It's interesting. Champlin Park's uniform is a combination of the New England Patriots logo along with the Los Angeles Kings jersey. If you look at it, it's tipped out of the zone nicely by Blodgett, and he gives chase. Lueck all the way out of his net. That's to scramble back in between the pipes. Centering pass looking for Williams. It's tipped away.
Well, the other part of this, too, they have a Toronto Maple Leaf striping design on them, too.
Yeah, there you go. Just an amalgamation of everything. Through traffic, somehow Lueck spies it and snags it.
That young man's getting a lot of practice tonight,
Yeah.
Bill. You're going to see a lot of puck in his dreams tonight.
He's growing up in a hurry. Funny because his brother Blake was one of the best scorers in the state for lacrosse and hockey the last couple of years. Particularly in hockey, he was really good. So ironic that his little brother is saving shots, not scoring them.
He probably sat down with him and said, "What is wrong with you? Why would you play goalie?" Oh my gosh.
Or maybe he just grew up, being the little brother and saying, "You're going to be in net." And he's like, I'm pretty good at this. 2-on-1 now for Spring Lake Park. Shot rising all the way. Teddy Wackman whacked it over the crossbar. Great feed across by Connor Larson. Lance drifts into the zone, drops it for Long. Cross ice pass, a wrist shot through traffic, rebound loose, and this time Lueck able to cover that wrist shot off the stick of Austin Anderson. And boy, Brent Solomon was waiting to pounce on that loose rebound.
But you see the patience they entered the zone with. They made sure everybody got inside the zone and they moved the puck around. That's a good opportunity here. You got to hit the net, son. I know it's hard, but at least leave something out there. He was in a good position for a rebound, too.
Yeah, he was. And great patience by Larson to draw the defense, slide it across, but ultimately could not finish. Face-off coming to the right of Lueck. It's one at the corner by Spring Lake Park. Champlin Park wins it, or takes it back and plays it back up top. Now down low. In the left circle, Aberwald trying to evade a defender, and he'll sweep it in deep, looking for Ron. Back up top, Bellison at the right point. Shared near side through traffic. Warren shot again, saved, but kind of handcuffed Lueck. And again, those rebounds, they just got bodies in front. Those rebounds are just so tempting. Ron keeps it in the zone and keeps possession. Banks it off the boards for Warren. Swept in front underneath a couple Champlin Park sticks. Back center, and Bellison with a quick shot from the center point. Nice job by Ron to get it to him. And this is a long shift for these SLP defenders. They're trying to break it out, and who else but John Ross leading the charge. Ross on the backhand, drives the net, and misses.
He's a player.
He really is.
He's a player, Bill.
You can see why he racked up so many points last year. Ron evades the defender and moves to the outside. Rimming the zone, looking for a pass. Jordan Ron already with a goal tonight. Back out to the left point. Warren's shot doesn't reach the net. Ron tracks it down. He is everywhere on the ice.
Jeepers.
Ron and Ross. Ron backhands it up center for Bellison. He really likes that quick snapshot. Does not linger with it very long.
Best way to score goals, beat a goalie to the spot. He really gets it off quickly.
Yeah, that certainly catches him off guard. Redirected in front, and another fine save by Lueck to deny Bernovic. Picked up by number 3, Jay Balsimo, and he flips it out. But the puck is ice, so both teams will take this opportunity to get fresh lines on the ice. Puck stopped with 9:19 to go in the second.
Well, with the Rebels, I'm telling you, what a selfish hockey team. They just won't share the puck with the other team at all. Man, they're controlling it so well. But good opportunity here as he cuts inside. I like the fact he
just
really
missed
went
it.
after.
He just missed the net. 13-0 shots in favor of Champlin Park in this period, and another one that's whizzing high off the stick of Matthew Blodgett.
Whoa.
They're not shy putting the puck on net, as we've talked about. Good pressure by Drew Lindquist, who's had some nice shifts tonight for the red and blue. They're able to get it out of the zone, force it back out to center.
The other problem that the Panthers are having is it's John Ross. Nobody's going with him. I mean, you got to have 2 or 3 guys coming in. Ross
no puck support.
None.
Battle won in the right corner by the Rebels, and they'll ring it around to the near side. Williams waiting the pass. Instead, it's intercepted. 3-on-3 now for SLP, but that pass is cut out by Bernovic. Onto the stick of Williams, who glides through neutral zone ice. Drops it for Blodgett. Shared across. Wrist shot. They score! A rocket! Cade Simonson, the senior defender, the big fella, with a wicked wrister to make it 4-0.
I wonder which coach drew that play up, because that was picture perfect. Bing, bang, boom, and it got in the back of the net. What a nice play. Nice pass here, and then he just rips it, saw the open wing. You know, the Rebels, they know where each other's at, Bill, and they're moving it around really well. Spring Lake Park, they're just having trouble getting everybody in there and then finding each other. So it's a one-man show, and usually it's John Ross.
Assisted by Blodgett and Williams. So Simonson from Blodgett and Williams to make it 4-0. 2 goals in the first period, 2 in the second period now for Champlin Park. And the Rebels looking like a threat in Section 5. I mean, Section 5 is a tough section, as we know, with Rogers and Maple Grove and others. There's an opportunity, and they score! Spring Lake Park gets one back. Beautiful feed out front. And who else but the captain, John Ross, takes advantage. Ross, his first goal of the season after potting 7 last year.
Did a great job. He's been working hard enough, a well-deserved goal by him. He played in the right position, and he smacked it in. And I think, Champlin right here, they just kind of relaxed a little bit and forgot that, hey, these guys can play too a little bit. You really don't want to leave Ross alone in front of that net. That's not a smart plan.
So Lichter gets his first point as a high school player, and White gets an assist as well. So it's Ross from White and Lichter, that top line for Spring Lake Park, as that one is saved with the pad and then flipped all the way down to the other end. Icing waved off, shots 30-4. So not a bad percentage for Spring Lake Park, 4 shots and a goal. Well, with 7:07 and counting left to go here in the second period, it's all Champlin Park, but a nice bit of confidence as that top line contributed to that goal. There's a rising shot off the stick of Aberwald. Held in the zone by Ron for a moment, then it's flipped on net, or more like fired on net really, by Austin Anderson and held on to by Lewick. Ron has been just everywhere for this Champlin Park team tonight, but yeah, you got to be careful. You got to be certainly aware where Jordan Ross is, because he's been all over the shop tonight for Spring Lake Park, who, of course, to add insult to injury, they're already down 4-1, and the PA announcer called them St. Louis Park. So that's not nice.
No.
Accidental as it was. Oh, that one nearly slid in from an odd angle. So Lewick's made some fine saves tonight, but he has also lived dangerously, Dan.
Can you tell me the name of the Champlin goalie?
Yes.
Yeah, you got to look at the roster.
Evan Whipple.
Yeah.
As you see, that one nearly pounced on. And there's a shot that goes wide. Anderson plays it down low. Evan Whipple has made 3 saves tonight, faced 4. Maybe facing another one as Teddy Wackman gains the zone. Wackman feeds it across, and it's underneath the stick of a hard-charging Lindquist. Spring Lake Park still on it. Now it's forced out of the zone by who else but Williams, Evan Williams. Great two-way player for this Rebels team. He forces them all the way back, and ultimately Rombach plays it up for Wackman. Nice job by Brnovic to nudge that Panther off the puck. Lindquist. Brnovic gains the zone. From above the right circle, his shot comes up the far side boards. It's held in momentarily by Anderson. He rings it around for Warren to get. Brnovic can't keep it in the zone, however, so the Rebels forced to touch up. Outshooting the Panthers 34-4 in this hockey game as that one fired out of play by Lewick into the Champlin Park bench.
Well, if your D can't do it, I'll step up as a goalie and get it out of here because I don't want that thing near me anymore.
So take a look at Tom Potter, and yeah, Lewick's like, I don't want this in the zone. I don't want it near my crease. I'm going to send it into the bench.
In other words, get it out of here. So I think Coach Potter was right when he talked to you and told they got a pretty good group here. This looks like a good hockey team.
Yeah, and he's getting that consistency in terms of offensive opportunities. They might have one more here. Carlson gains the zone. He throws it on net. That kind of handcuffs Lewick. Sort of a rising shot that he had to almost jump to save. Awkward, but he makes the save, and now a board battle along the right half wall. 5 minutes to go, second period. 4-1 our score here at the Champlin Ice Forum as that ultimately slides back into the Rebel end for Bellison to collect. Carlson chips and chases. Lewick way out of his net. Bellison back skating, gloves it down in the neutral zone. He gains the line and drops it off. And rushes to the net. Beautiful tic-tac-toe passing on the backhand. Jared jamming at it. Lots of bodies in front. Ultimately, Lewick just laying on the puck, takes the whistle.
That young man's put up a pretty good battle, even though they scored 4 on him. He's been shelled so far. They're already at 36 shots on goal here, and we're not even out of the second period yet.
I think it's safe to say they'll reach that 53 mark if they keep at it. Look at the intricate passing. The backhand attempt ultimately by Carlson that was saved. First line D out there with Long and Anderson. Or the starting D, I should say. Not the first line. He kind of mixed up the pairs. There's a wrister from Solomon that goes up the far side wall. Chipped down the boards by Anderson.
Well, I'd like to see the Panthers start making some stretch passes here. Get some guys flying out toward the Champlin point.
Long walks in. Nobody stopped him, but his shot missed the net, hit the board behind, hit the glass behind the goal. Long around to the near side. Shots 36-4 in favor of Champlin. Make that 37 as Williams got another shot off, but nobody in front of Lewick, so he makes a comfortable save.
It's been noted that I've watched a couple times here where there's been 4 Rebels in front of the net with 1 D standing up on the point right in the middle. And they're just putting pressure and pressure. Some stretch passes would loosen that up and get that D back up top where he should be.
Yeah, they're sort of crashing down. They're not really afraid to pinch because they're not being punished for it.
Nope.
Beautiful job by Solomon to retain possession of the puck. Long throws a wrister on net. Luke slides over to make the save. And they're able to clear with Wackman. Wackman watched by Long. Great job by Long to poke check it away. Just a sophomore. One of those talented youngsters on this Rebels team.
Well, 2 of the lost arts of playing defense. Hip checks and poke checks.
Solomon on it. Watched by a couple Panthers in the right wing corner. Trying to get it back to Long at the point. Wackman gives him a bump. Great job by Williams or Solomon to keep his footing. He managed to get a shot off, but Lewick is equal to the task. Still only had 1 penalty in the game. It was on Caden Lichter, and Champlin Park made Spring Lake Park pay, scoring on the power play. At that time to make it 3-1. It's since gone to 4. At that time, it was 3-0.
I think in order for the Panthers to get a penalty, it's going to have to be pretty doggone blatant right now.
Yeah, well, and they've got to force the issue, right?
Yeah. Oh, look at that.
Champlin Park, beautiful feed underneath. Solomon Lewick was sprawling, but they've stopped play, and I don't know if it's because, indeed, the net is off its moorings. But that was a great job of just sliding behind the defense off that draw win.
Yep.
And they nearly caught Spring Lake Park napping at the back door.
Well, I like the way Lewick attacked, too. Even though he knocked the net out, he got out and he went after it.
You almost have to again to draw one back to the point. Bellison throws it on net. Blocker to side. Forced back out to center ice. Back to the line is Bellison. Down the right wing. His cross ice pass is intercepted and the play ruled offside. Stops the clock with 2:27 left in the second.
I guess it must have been deep enough on that offside. Usually when the other team gets it, they let it go and see if he can get it out.
And actually, we have got a penalty. I'm not sure what that's for, but the captain, John Ross, sitting for 2 minutes.
Oh, that's
here late in the second.
Interesting. Well, the Rebels are 1 for 1 so far. This could be a...
Ross, 2 minutes for roughing. Yeah, real chance for the Rebels as they have a lot of traffic in front of the net. That shot deflected wide. From Bellison set up at the center point. Anderson there as well. Here's a one-timer. Teed up by Blodgett. Down low. Good stick in the passing lane. Nicely recovered by Warren. Blodgett trying to walk his way through and does. Lewick makes the save. And they were able to bank it out of the zone and all the way down. 2 minutes for roughing on Ross. I don't think either one of us saw that. But as we said, Champlin Park with they've already got the momentum, let's be honest, but they could really do some damage here as Blodgett absolutely leaves Jay Balsimo in his wake. He's got some nifty moves.
They're going to have to stop play to get the jock off the ice that fell out. Man, oh man, what a move that was.
First you're going to have to tell the kids what a jock is. It's loose in front. Bounding puck as Ron is out there. He shares it near up for Anderson. Blodgett once more through traffic, and it doesn't reach Lewick. 1 minute remaining, 30 seconds on the power play. Anderson from the top, and it's gloved and held onto by Lewick. As we're going to take a look at the replay that shows the penalty. And it might have been, right. Just a silly one right in front of the ref. In front of the Champlin Park bench, as you see there, Dan, just a little punch to the back of the head.
Yep.
John Ross, who scored the goal for Spring Lake Park in this period, just hoping his team can kill off the next 26 seconds.
I think there's a little frustration going on there.
Yeah, maybe a little.
Maybe.
Anderson goal line extended, dancing with the puck. Tries to slide a pass out and evades everyone back to the Champlin Park blue line.
Well, aside from the last pass, I like the way the Rebels they know where each other's at. They move the puck well against each other. But I'll be interested to see them do it against Maple Grove.
1 for 2 and right to out of the box to John Ross. Ross trying to get there, attacking one-on-one. Good recovery by Ron. Long doing a nice job of impeding him. 10 seconds remaining in the period. A board battle. Won by Spring Lake Park. One last chance. Whipple makes the save and hangs on to it to stop play with 3.7 seconds remaining.
Well, good play by Connor Larson there. He knew the time was running out, and he made sure that he got a shot on goal. Good for him. That's smart, being ahead of the game and knowing what's going on.
30 shots in the period for Champlin Park on goal. According to the statisticians here, 30-2 shots in this period. As we've still got 3.7 seconds left. Bellison off the draw will melt it down, and we have reached the end of the second period of play. Champlin Park adds 2 more to its total. Spring Lake Park gets one back, even strength thanks to John Ross. but Champlin Park outshoots the Panthers in that period 30-2. Absolute domination. They're continuing to put pucks on net, and they take a 4-1 lead into our second intermission. Highlights and analysis and more coming up shortly here on CCX.
Mom was always very self-sufficient, but we started noticing things were off.
I was forgetting my responsibilities at work.
I told Mom we should visit a doctor.
Alzheimer's. It was hard to hear that.
Early detection gave us time to seek information and support as a family. I've never felt more connected with Mom.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
Back here in our second intermission at the Champlin Ice Forum, Bill Hupp alongside Dan Ficken here on CCX. Champlin Park adds 2 more, 1 on the power play in the second period, and they take a 4-1 lead over Spring Lake Park. As we take a look at our second period highlights, Dan.
Well, definitely Champlin Park's period without a question. They totally dominated.
As you see here through traffic, the initial save was made. Lewick was had to make tons of saves, and on that power play especially, and then eventually spills a rebound, and Lang is there to tap it home. You know, they had their chances. Spring Lake Park did. Wackman missing the net there. John Ross driving the net here and just missing. They had some good chances, just a couple, but then Williams here to blodge it across, and just a absolute wicked wrister from Simonson, the big defender, to make it 4-0 at that point. But then John Ross, who has been really the player of the game for Spring Lake Park here, right place, right time, and he fires one home to get one back for the Panthers. But they outshot, Spring Lake Park 30-2, according to the scorekeepers here at the Champlin Ice Forum, and that just kind of goes to show how aggressive they're being. As we take a look at the halftime or the intermission statistics, shots on goal 44-5. Couple penalties. Spring Lake Park 1 for 2 on the kill. Champlin Park 1 for 2 on the power play, and yeah, it's just been a real back and forth contest, but dominated primarily by Champlin Park.
Totally. I mean, if Lewick wasn't on top of his game and in the goal for the Panthers, this could easily be about a 9-10-1 game right now. So he's done a great job.
Yet.
Yeah. Well,
not running clock yet. We'll see if it ends up getting there. But Champlin Park, hungry, talented, and looking the part of a real threat in Section 5 AA with their performance here tonight. 4-1, they lead it over Spring Lake Park. Back with third period play in a moment here on CCX.
Engineer.
Our score here at the Champlin Ice Forum as we get set to start the third period of play. Bill Hupp and Dan Ficken and our entire North Metro TV, our entire CCX Sports crew on hand tonight for this game between the two Northwest Suburban Conference rivals and Section 5 rivals. As you look at the summary, Champlin Park scoring on the power play, Matthew Lang at .214, his second of the season, and then Kane Simonson finishing off a beautiful passage of play. And Dan, that for me is the real eye-opener tonight for Champlin Park.
Yes.
How unselfish they are and how many guys are willing to shoot the puck.
Absolutely. They've moved it around really well. How's that going to translate against like the Maple Groves? Because Spring Lake Park is, they're just not quite in that tier yet. So we'll see how it works out for Champlin Park. But so far, as a coach, I would be happy with the situation.
I'm sure Tom Potter is, as Champlin Park wins another face-off to start a period, and here they have a chance right away as Nick Carlson chases the puck to the right wing corner. Fed out in front, but nobody was there. John Ross was there, not surprisingly. Carlson, a big body, fed, again backhanded. Great feed to a cutting Anderson, but he missed the net. Carlson on it, leaned on by Rombach in the right wing corner. Puck tied up in a board battle there. Rombach has his pocket picked, and it's slid back up the wall, and now shared near side. Long keeps it in the zone. He throws it on net. Lewick makes the stop, and there's a whistle to stop play. They hit traffic in front. That's the thing is Champlin Park, they could do more to put bodies in front of Lewick, who has stopped 40 of 44 shots he's faced tonight.
Yeah, but the pressure's still there. I mean, they didn't waste any time getting the puck inside the attack zone and going after it.
Yeah, they're not calling off the dogs, as they say. Only up 4-1. Williams has his pass intercepted by Wackman. Blodgett recovers nicely, and quickly they transition from defense to offense, and Williams has his shot whistle just wide. Lewick may have gotten a piece of that. Down low, beautiful pass by Bellison for Williams on the doorstep. Williams tried to jam it short side, and then that has been knocked off its mooring. What a find, though, from the point.
Yes.
All the way down low to Williams on the doorstep, and he couldn't finish.
It's amazing what happens when you get your head up. Let's take a look, see who's there.
Yeah, Bellison with a silky pass as we take a look on our replay. And they're just relentless with their pressure, and then Lewick slides over to slam the door shut on the weak side. Through traffic once more, unable to redirect. But Bellison collects it in the left point. Down low, great job by Blodgett to lift the stick. Still on it, Brnovic back out to the right point, and then a poor pass across. And Champlin Park will have to regroup, but Spring Lake Park just cannot clear its own zone. Brnovic brings it around. Now it goes back behind him there. Sorry, Dan.
No problem. Yeah, so Spring Lake Park spending so much time in their own defensive zone, they're all tired. They can't make a rush once they get the puck.
Yeah, or they're just going off, and they're having long shifts. Brnovic centering pass by Williams underneath the stick. It comes all the way out to Anderson. His shot sticked aside. Bellison has to retreat back to his neutral zone to get it, or to the neutral zone. Williams underneath the stick of Brnovic. They just immediately seem to get it back. It's swept in by Caden Lichter, the freshman. It's job by Bellison to ring it around for Simonson.
Well, you know, sometimes you expect equality of mercy here and stuff like that, but, you know, this is varsity hockey, and it comes down to if you want to stop us from scoring, then you need to stop us from scoring, because we're not going to pull back.
Yeah, and 4-1 is obviously not any kind of massive lead. It's not running clock or anything, so we still play on. 3 minutes gone by here in the third period. Still a 3-goal lead for Champlin Park. It's underneath the stick of its intended recipient, Jax Warren. He tracks back to his own zone to get it. Trying to pass it out, but they turn it over. There's a quick turn shot. The stick of Mason White that missed the net. They ring it around to the near sideboards. Now Champlin Park trying to regroup and exit the zone. Lang just out of his reach. As Anders Holland was there, and the icing will bring the faceoff back down into the Champlin Park end.
Anders Holland made a nice play for the Panthers there. He really covered that up. Otherwise, it could have been free and easy, split the D.
Yeah, sometimes that physicality is what you need.
Yep.
And as Balsimo moves in to take the draw against Ron. Loose puck back to Ron, and now he can lead a 3-on-2. Gets it ahead for Aberwald. Arm stays down. They still retain. Centered in front, and they miss the net. A hard charging Anderson crashing down. Now he has it at the right point. Throws it on net, and it's deflected in, and they score. And we'll have to see if they give that goal to Anderson or to one of the bodies in front of the net. It might be Ron's second.
Yeah, I think so. I could see it come off the heel of the stick as he tipped it through and to change direction on it. Luke had no prayer in that play whatsoever once it got deflected. Yeah.
Certainly seemed
Jordan
to
Ron.
get Ron second as we look at the replay here. Anderson, as you see, throws it on net.
Oh, no. That went off the shin pad of the Panther defenseman. But Ron was the closest one to it, so he'll get credit for the goal.
Yeah, Ron gets credit for the goal. There's a save. Anderson gets credit. And Everwald as well. So it's Ron from Anderson and Everwald. That goal coming at the 3 minutes and 46 seconds. Thank you, our director, Brian Nelson. Quick math, 3 minutes and 46 seconds into this third period to give the Rebels a 5-1 lead. 4 of their 5 goals tonight, Dan, scored even strength.
Yeah.
But Ron with 2 of them, and now Jordan Ron has 5 goals and 4 assists on the season.
Well, they've done a really, really good job of keeping the pressure up, moving the puck.
And they're doing it again, cycling it back down low as Brnovic on it. Back out to Bellison, who's got one of the goals tonight. He shares it far side, rebound, it's juicy, and somehow Blodgett missed the net. Puck still down in the SLP end, though, with 12:20 and counting to go. Fed out in front, and Lewick makes the stop and hangs on. They're just crashing down from these points.
Yep.
And nobody is picking up the cutters.
Nope. I like Luke, though. He's just staying cool, calm, and collected. He's fighting his way back, and he's not getting all shook up. I think he's done a really good job.
In case you're curious, shots 8-1 in the period for Champlin Park. They'll outpace the 53 shots they had against Forest Lake last night. Net knocked off its moorings once more. Forest Lake, of course, where you live now, Dan.
Yes, sir.
They love their high school sports up there.
They do.
2 goals for Jordan Ron tonight. Going to play with Aberdeen, committed to play for Aberdeen in the NAHL, the North American Hockey League Juniors. The next destination for Ron, who is, you can make all conference in the NWSC. You are quite a player.
Yes, definitely.
As the faceoff will come in the left circle of the SLP zone. One cleanly back to Williams. He throws it on net. Blodgett there. Collects the rebound and wheels around the zone. Goal line extended, fed out in front in a dangerous area, but Williams wasn't looking for it. Blodgett again with it. Senior drops it back. A lot of senior talent too with Blodgett and Williams. That one deflected off the stick of Mason White. Again, the puck in a dangerous area. Luke has had no rest tonight. Bellison, the one-timer that goes high. It comes up the far side boards. Champlin Park has to collect. 11.5 minutes to go. Third period. 5-1 our score as Bellison lofts it into the zone. Rombach, long pass up for Ross. That's that stretch pass you were talking about.
Yep.
Ross's pass deflected off the skate of Lang. Bellison along the right half boards in his own zone as his pocket picked by Lichter. Looked good for a freshman tonight.
Well, you can see how that stretch pass just relieved the pressure, and now they're getting an opportunity to play a little offense.
Yep, something we've rarely seen tonight. There's a shot and a save by Whipple, who didn't know much about it, and who else but Ross testing him. Chance now as Brent Solomon gains the zone. Solomon dips his shoulder on the backhand. He's forced wide to the wall, well defended there by Ian St. Martin. Centering pass only finds the stick of a Spring Lake Park Panther. Now up for Ross. He drives the net, and Whipple makes the save. That was actually defender Ian St. Martin, the senior. I saw the 6, and I just assumed it was part of 16.
Yep.
Because Ross has been involved so much tonight, but St. Martin outletting nicely.
Yep.
You just haven't had enough red jerseys, red sweaters willing to get up the ice like that. And St. Martin testing Whipple, and again, he kind of looked around like he didn't know where it was, but he just got his big body in front of it and made the save.
Let's use his body effectively, but again, There was one Panther and about 4 Rebels standing right there.
Ron centering pass, and that one goes wide. Lewick sprawling outside of his net. Aberwald missed it on the shot. Sharp angle shot from Anderson would have been special if that had snuck in. But they're still buzzing. Aberwald crashing the net. That feed for him by Ron didn't get through. Ron forced out of the zone by Dylan Stockey, who had one of the 2 goals against Irondale last night for Spring Lake Park, but we really haven't called his name yet tonight, and that one's deflected up and into the Panthers bench. Nearly midway through this 3rd period of play here at the Champlin Ice Forum. 5-1 our score. Next up for Spring Lake Park, they'll be at Tartan on Saturday afternoon. Champlin Park, meanwhile, visits a much improved Coon Rapids team next Thursday night.
That's always an interesting game, too, because their youth programs are combined, the Champlin Park Coon Rapids.
And the girls' hockey programs as well.
Yeah, that's right.
So those kids certainly know each other pretty well. As Lindquist has it poked away. Skating onto it, Cole Perkins getting his first ice time tonight. Perkins jamming at it. Lewick makes the stop and melts it down.
Well, Champlin Park coming down and using their 3rd and 4th lines and letting the kids who don't normally get a chance to play get some playing time in.
Yeah, I've got to work on my pronunciations here. Jerpseth out there. Cole Perkins, little used 4th line. Cooper New, Ty McGee. New, of course, the brother of the Cohen New, the star goaltender. Twin brother, in fact, Cooper New, both seniors. Down low, Rombach gets there first. And Champlin Park may have its 4th line out there, but they are still buzzing. As the first line hops back on the ice and goes on the forecheck. Rombach, a big defenseman, gets it ahead for Lindquist. It's into the zone where Jerpseth plays it up the boards to alleviate the pressure. Blodgett. Warren tries to pitchfork it out. Held in momentarily off the side of the net. And right into the stick of Evan Williams. And this is a guy you want to lead the rush. Across for Blodgett. Toe drag, fires, and Lewick makes a save off a rocket of a shot. Williams tracks it down to the right wing corner. Blackhands for Blodgett. Across for Bellison, looking for his 2nd from the dot. Blocker save, or pad save made, rather, by Lewick. Still on it with Bernovic. Back out high. Through traffic, Simonson's effort comes up the near sideboards. Bellison goes down to play it. Williams, sharp angle shot, testing Lewick, and he makes the save. Off the boards and banked all the way down.
Good play.
To the other end to alleviate the pressure as both teams will look to make a change.
That was a good play by the D. There's nothing wrong with icing it when you're getting that tired in your own zone.
Yeah, and
Man.
Dan, you watch Champlin, they're just cycling. It doesn't matter. The effort gets saved, they're back in it. And it is hard to break that. It has proven difficult to break that tonight for Spring Lake Park. Off the face-off, Panthers trying to exit the zone, but again, Matthew Lang keeps it down there. Big check delivered by John Ross in his own end. Lichter digging at it. Ultimately, Rebels come away with it. Out to the point. Bellison skates middle. Shares it at the dot. Sharp angle in front. Fed in front for Solomon. His pass out on high. Lang tries to go for back for Bellison, but they've got to regroup.
A little too patient that time.
Simonson gets it back in. Only as far as Ian Roll. Ian Roll trying to hit Mason White. Bellison will get there first. Well, I didn't know much about Bellison coming in, but he has been really impressive tonight.
Yes, he has.
He is every bit the player that Evan Williams and Jordan Ron are. Makes for a real strong co-captaincy.
Well, Coach Potter said it's a talented group, and the key word there is group. And you can throw talent in there second.
Williams, or Solomon rather, and his efforts gloved by Lewick and held on to. Stops the clock with 6 minutes exactly to go here in the third period.
Lewick there has done a great job for the Panthers. He's really hung in there. He hasn't given up, and he's working his brains out.
Made 52 saves tonight.
Jeepers crying.
Some keepers won't get that in the season.
Yeah.
Draw one back to Long at the point. Goal line extended. Carlson to the high slot. Throws it on net. Ron in front momentarily. Couldn't deflect it on net. Big check delivered on Trevor Aberwald. There's a sharp angle shot. Finds his way to Aberwald. Couldn't sort it out. Long's effort. Blocked out in front. And it's backhanded out of the zone by Joseph Shipman, whose name we called a lot in the first period, but we have not said it much ever since. Champlin Park into the zone. Shipman gets in the way of it. And back come the Panthers. Holland has his pass deflected. Up the far side boards. 2-on-2 for Champlin Park if they hurry. Dropped back. There's a shot turned aside comfortably by Lewick. Inside of 5 minutes to go here in Champlin. Trying to walk his way through along the right half wall. Rebels take it back. Carlson into the zone. Toe dragging his way. He's forced off the puck by Holland. Holland's had some nice shifts tonight. Been impressed with him. Cross ice pass finds its way to his teammate Teddy Wackman. He's rubbed off the puck by Carlson, or Warren rather. It'll be interesting to see how this Champlin Park team fares in the rugged NWSC. But I can safely say they'll pick up their first win in conference play tonight. 2-on-1 for Champlin Park. Wrist shot goes wide. Comes up the boards for Jerpseth. And he plays it down low. Connor Larson, one of the co-captains, banks it out of the zone right to Teddy Wackman. Wackman stood up nicely there by Warren. 4 minutes remaining. 58-8. Shots in favor of Champlin Park tonight. And Dan, what do you think of how Champlin Park could compete with the likes of Rogers and Andover and Maple Grove?
Well, they're moving the puck well. They know what to do, but again, you got to look at the stiffness of the competition. I've seen Maple Grove, and I got to tell you, they're good. They are good, and they're big.
Todd Berglund's group, always good.
Well, they're on a little bit of a mission too. They did that. Losing that championship game has not stuck well in their craw.
Yeah, as it wouldn't. Lost in heartbreaking fashion in 2 straight state tournaments.
Yep. But I like this Champlin team. I like the way they move the puck, though. They move it to each other very well, and it always gives them an opportunity. If they can continue to do that, they will compete well.
Ross hounded by Bellison, and Bellison's going to take the first Champlin Park penalty of the game with just 3:18 remaining, as he took down John Ross. Who else was? Of course, John Ross was the one buzzing in the zone, and so otherwise a penalty-free night for Champlin Park, but Bellison commits the first one here in the third period late with the tripping, and you see Ross.
Ross can do that to you. Yeah, you know, I mean, they're not going to give up any time on him, but he's a player.
Yeah, Bellison did go for tripping, like I originally thought. Spring Lake Park now with a chance to work on their power play. They were 1 for 5 last night in the 2-2 draw, 2-2 tie against Irondale. Ross with it, drops it back from the left circle. That's saved by Whipple. Ross is just captaining this, quarterbacking this power play, as you might expect. Always a chance to work on some things. Well, 2:40 to go in the game.
They've got double figures in shots now, which is good.
Ross plays catch with Romback. Romback in the high slot. His shot hits a man out front. I believe that hit to Austin Anderson, and Anderson deals with it by hitting it out of play.
Well, it was a good play. There was definitely danger there, too, and I'm sure the Rebels don't want to see another goal go up at all.
2:26 to go in the game, 109 remaining on the man advantage for Spring Lake Park. Ross and Larson, the 4th and 5th leading point getters for the Panthers last year. And graduated their top 3 otherwise, as that one comes up the far side. Boards held in at the line by Romback. Sharp angle shot. Whipple makes the save. Romback. Lindquist kind of fanning on the pass, regroups, walks in, fires a shot, rebound spilled, but then pounced on by Evan Whipple, who will see that 4.0 goals against average lower, as he has stopped 11 of 12 shots he's faced tonight.
Well, and he's getting some good experience here too, and you know, maybe not a competitive game, so to speak, but you know, I'll tell you what, the Panthers aren't going away in this period. They're doing their best to really put some pucks on net.
Champlin still with 30 seconds left on this tripping minor. Shots now 58-12. Finally, the board battle won by the Rebels and all the way down. Lewick out of his net. He's got to be careful with Williams, who had a shorthanded goal in these two teams met last year. Bellison preparing to exit the box. 5 seconds remaining. Spring Lake Park managed to get a couple shots off. They get one more. Whipple makes another stop and turns it aside as the Rebels clear it all the way down the ice. That icing will bring the faceoff back down to the right of Evan Whipple with 1:07 remaining in the hockey game.
Well, it's rare you see a dominating performance like we've seen from the Rebels here, so it'd be something for them to carry in. Got some confidence. They did some really good things tonight. You know, not even to mention putting the puck in the net.
Of course, this was a Champlin Park team that lost to Rogers 5-1 in the 5A AA section semifinals last year. And, you know, I think it's another section semi appearance is very much within their realm of possibility for this team. And maybe they only, you know, maybe it's a goal or two game instead. Either way. But 5-1 to that Rogers team is also very respectable because the Royals are on the come and were the NWSC champs last year, ultimately falling in the section championship game to Maple Grove. Long throws it on net, redirected nicely in front by Cole Perkins with 19 seconds remaining. Long again through traffic, swallowed up by Lewick.
Well, here we got that line coming in, you know, just getting some experience, getting ready. So look at that, 61 shots on net. Wow. 61-12.
And in case you're wondering, that does make it 17-10 in this period. So much not a bad finish for Spring Lake Park as that goes out of play with 9.5 seconds left. It was at one point 44-5. So I guess I should say 11-7 in terms of shots in this period. Goes out of play again. 61-12. Shots in favor of Champlin Park as they'll improve to 3-1 on the season. Spring Lake Park will suffer their first loss and drop to 0-1-1. As Lewick sprawls to make the save as time expires here in Champlin.
Pretty dominating performance by the Rebels.
Dominating performance indeed by Champlin Park tonight. Scored 2 in the first, 2 in the second, add 1 in the third to win going away over Spring Lake Park 5-1. Dan, this was fun. Let's do it again sometime.
I'd be up for that.
Sounds good. Dan Ficken, you'll hear him all season long doing hockey here on CCX. Like to thank Dan, Brian Nelson, our director, and our entire crew here at CCX for their great work tonight here in Champlin. Rebels improved to 3-1 on the season with a comfortable 5-1 victory on home ice over the Spring Lake Park Panthers. This has been high school hockey on CCX.